Hey guys, what's up? Jerry here with Rocky Hill Family Farm. Got a couple of projects we got to complete today, but it is a stormy looking day. Actually, I'm standing here and it is starting to rain, so we're gonna move up under the porch here. Okay, that's better. Okay guys, so what we're gonna do today, I've got 3 hot peppers that I bought about 3 weeks ago. We hadn't got them in the ground. Mom doesn't want me to put them in her beds with her sweet peppers. Obviously, she doesn't want them to cross-pollinate and cause her peppers to be really hot peppers, because these aren't just any hot peppers. These aren't jalapenos or hot banana peppers. These are the number 1, number 2, and number 4 hottest pepper in the world. The Carolina Reaper, Moruga Scorpion, and the Ghost Pepper. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little technique invented by a man here in Oklahoma, Leon Sloan. What we're going to do is we're going to make some 5-gallon bucket wicking tubs or wicking planters, and we're going to plant a pepper plant in each one of those, and that makes them where they're mobile. I can keep them up here at my place, and that way they're not cross-pollinating in the other beds. So let's get those started and see how it goes. Okay guys, first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you've got you a 5-gallon bucket, because that's what we're planting in. Now the next thing you're going to need is 10 to 12 pop cans or water bottles. In this case, I got water bottles because I have easy access to those at work. It took me a couple of nights to get enough bottles to do this project. Now I'm already running into tip number 1 that I can show you is you gotta have to drill at least 2 holes in each bottle. So the first thing I did was, of course, I punched a hole in the top because it's the easiest. Not what you want to do. What you want to do is, while you've still got pressure, air pressure in the bottle, punch your hole in the bottom, and that way it actually will hold and keep that bottle from collapsing on you when you try to poke a hole. If you poke a hole in the top, it's going to be 4 times as hard to get that hole in the bottom, because the bottle doesn't have any internal pressure and will collapse on you. So what I've done is I've drilled 1 hole in the bottom, and then I've put a couple of holes in the top of the neck of each bottle to allow water to fill into those bottles in the bottom of the wicking planter. Alright guys, now see, that's what you end up with if you don't drill your hole on the bottom first. Also, keynote to that, make sure the lid's on tight so the air pressure in the bottle holds. I drilled the bottom first, but look what happened. So there you have it, learn from my mistake. Now once you get those all drilled out, then you take and put them in the bottom. You arrange them however. I'm going to put a picture on here and show you what that looks like. Okay, now after you've got them in the bottom, however you like them, whether you want your 1 pocket on each side or 1 large pocket off to the side, it doesn't really matter. Also, before I forget, a key thing for this to work is you have to have a drain hole in the side of your bucket. Otherwise, this thing's going to fill up with water. Your plants are going to drown. You're not going to have an air pocket for the roots to grow. It's just not going to work right. So you want to go 5 inches from the bottom of the bucket and put you a hole in up to a 5/8 hole. And what I did with mine, just so when I move these, that I'm not worried about water sloshing out and leaning side to side, I actually lined them up with the wire handle on the bucket. And that way, if I do move them, that center hole is supported, and I'm not draining out the fertilizer and all the nutrients that went into the water, and it's not a waste. The next step you want to do is you want to get your ground cover, your ground cloth. Leon recommends a commercial grade fabric, which I'm not against, just don't have access to it. So what I've got some 10-year box store ground fabric that I bought and found. So it's not going to break down in a year. It's going to last me several years, because you don't want to have to dump these out every year and redo them, because you don't want to you don't want to do things 2 and 3 times that you could have done once right. So what you do then is those little pockets that you put down in the bottom, those empty spaces, you want to make sure this tucks all the way down into those. And then you're going to stuff those full of soil, and that is your wick. That's why it's called a wicking tub, because that actually pulls the water up into the top of the plant and into the root system of the plant and makes it where you don't have to water as much. So let me do that real quick on this one, and I'll show you what it looks like after you get it stuffed down into the tub, okay? Okay guys, now you see I can go all the way to the bottom on either side of those 2 water bottles I put down in the center. And what I'm going to do in a minute is, when I go to putting soil in, I'm going to stuff those full of soil and make sure that those wicks are all the way to the bottom of that bucket. Now the ground cloth is going to keep the majority of that dirt from getting into the water basin and dirtying up the water and making it where you can't use this method as well. So let's get started on the dirt. Now the one thing we didn't do is, I don't have the PVC pipe today to put in the sides of these. But the PVC pipe is crucial because it's how you water the plants. Now, 1 inch, 3/4 is sufficient. You don't want to go any bigger. You don't want to go any smaller than that, really, because it just increases your amount of time you're trying to get the water in the bottom. It's also how you put your fertilizer into the planter itself. So make sure you have the PVC to go in these. Now let's take a look at what the finished tub looks like. Now I know what you're saying. First of all, every gardener wants their garden to look good. So you're asking, what about the cloth that's hanging out? Pretty simple. Take a razor blade, cut it off if you want to. It's not that big of an issue. The main issue is that you don't let the dirt get into your water pocket and your air pocket in the bottom of the tub. So you don't want to not have enough. You want to make sure you have enough there to keep that from happening. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to go ahead and put one of the pepper plants in this pot, and then it's ready to go, other than the PVC. And I can put that in at any time. It's not that big of a deal. I'm going to water it in from the top the first time I water it anyway. So let's get this going. Ozzy found the tripod. What are you doing? What are you doing? Now on this, I'm going to go ahead and put the scorpion pepper in the ground first, because the scorpion pepper seems to be having the most problems staying alive in these little garden cubes that they plant these things in. And I want to make sure it survives, so I want to get it in the ground first, and that way there's no issue. And it was already root bound, so that's part of the problem. Okay guys, brought these outside. I got them ready to go, but I'm gonna fill them up out here in the back of the truck so the mess isn't in the garage. So let's get rolling on that. Carolina Reaper going in. The fabled ghost pepper going in. Well, there you have it, guys. In order, you got your Carolina Reaper, Moruga Scorpion, and your ghost pepper. Now, all I got left to do on these is just give them a water, and then next couple of days I'll go to the lumber yard and get some PVC, and we'll put the water tubes in, and it'll all be over from there. Okay guys, a while ago we were talking about the PVC pipe in the tub. So here's the principle. This goes to the bottom of the tub. You make sure you cut it on an angle so it doesn't create the vacuum and allow water. Make sure it allows water in. But make sure when you do these 5-gallon bucket planters that you do include your PVC. I just didn't have any today. Well guys, that's it today from Rocky Hill Family Farm. Enjoyed having y'all. Hope you enjoyed the videos. Like and subscribe below and hit that bell button. and we'll get you updates every time we do a new video. Now on these videos, I can't take credit for this stuff. This is knowledge passed on to me through Daniel Arms and Leon Sloan, Arms Family Homestead, and Leon's channel. I'll put links to those up in the corner here so you can check them out, because they've got a lot of gardening knowledge to pass on if you're interested. Just amazing stuff that I'd have never thought of, and it's inexpensive to do if you do it the way that we're doing it. So one thing I forgot to mention that I wanted to mention is that, guys, you have to feed your plants the same as you feed any animal or yourself. If you don't feed them, they're not going to grow. That has been my problem in my planter tubs the last few weeks, is I just wasn't feeding them enough and they weren't growing. But now that I'm feeding them every day like I should when I water, man, they're taking off and growing like crazy. But I'm not going to leave these out tonight. They're going in the garage here in a minute with me, because we've got storms rolling in here about 4 o'clock, and I don't want these pepper plants breaking off the ground and getting damaged. So they're going to go in the garage overnight. But anyway, that's it for today. Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll catch you on the next video.